One of the beauties of having access to hunting land is a lot of times too, you can also have some little ponds on it, such as this one right here that my daughter.
And I thought it would be a good idea to put that wild pork to some good use. We've got a lot of hunts coming up.
There we go. So we're gonna let this one go. 45 pounds. Woo! There's a good baby.
Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
The beginning of hunting season is not that far away, but we're out on a property that I lease that my daughter Theresa and her husband Lance and I are going to hunt for a little bit during the hunting season that's coming up, and we found a spot here that we're going to try to set up a stand. We've got some really nice areas right in through here where you can kind of cover both an open area which sits back this way, and then also some really thick cover that sits back kind of behind me back over here too. But in the side of that cover there's also an open area, and we've got Theresa and everybody looking right now. We've got Lance setting up a stand, a box stand if you will, or a ground blind. That feeder's going to be right in through that shooting lane right there. So we're the front of it. Yeah. And then you want to be able to see back out this way too, because there's trails coming in from this open area right along this little creek bottom. There's a rub over there that looks like it's been made by an elk. It's big on a pine tree. So I think somewhere right in through here, I'm gonna move around a little bit and let y'all look where I think because we can bait legally in Texas, so we're gonna set up a feeder as well here too. That way there's some open area back behind it, but there's a really good area right in through here. This little creek bottom, two little creeks come together right here. And there's trails all around this thing of these deer traveling in through here. So I think if we set up a feeder about right here, I think we ought to be in really good shape. I'm going to see if I can help them set up a feeder, and then we'll go from there. You can come right back and join us as we finish up the job here. But this is the area right here that really looks good. It's an open area, kind of open, not real open. But it'll be one of those areas to sit, and you see a deer coming through here, and your heart will beat like crazy as he comes a little bit closer, a little bit closer. I love these areas like this. This is the area that I picked out to start with to set up a blind, where I wanted to set up a blind, and then I found an opening in the rear, natural kind of opening in a big thicket, about a quarter mile or so, half a mile from here probably. This is a long piece of property. It's very long and relatively narrow, but two of our neighbors don't hunt. The other ones are only just kind of hunting for hogs on occasion. So this too is an area where I saw a really big whitetail back in when I leased this country. Never could see his head. It was right at the tail end when they were about to finish up in terms of antlers. So we got this area set up. You can see back here. This is about what's going to see. There's also a spot here too that some big hogs coming through here as well. And you can tell they're pretty good sized hogs by how high up they're rubbing on this little tree right here. So probably at least a 200-pound hog, or 150-pound at least maybe. A lot of tracks, good area. Then we'll go set up the feeder. These little Moultrie feeders, they hold about 25 pounds. You can hang them up. The batteries seem to last forever, and they can be programmed for several feedings per day if you like, but usually we just try to set them for early morning, late in the afternoon kind of thing. I think what we're going to try to do is set it up either right here. Lance can move that around a little bit if he needs to, and probably we'll set that feeder right here, see, kind of away from that one tree that's right there in front of him, but we can do that a little bit later. The deer that we've been having come to these feeders have learned how to put their tongues up here on this little lip as well too. So sometimes they're kind of works like a self feeder people, but that's fine. The object is to try to get them to in this area and stay in this area. And the beauty of it is too, there are quite a few deer here. As I said, there are tracks all in this area, so I'm excited for Lance. I got a feeling he's going to see a really good buck here. One of the beauties of having access to hunting land is a lot of times too, you can also have some little ponds on it, such as this one right here that my daughter Theresa is going to attempt to see if she can catch a fish. And I'd say there's a fish.
Holy crap.
First real cast. Beautiful little bass.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
Let me hold it far away. It's bigger.
You're not gonna make it look bigger. You don't need to make it look bigger.
Hey, little guy.
Okay.
Wow, he didn't waste any time.
No, they don't. This place is just almost every cast. It's amazing. Go ahead and put him back in. Try again. I'm gonna step over on the other side here. I think you're a little bit faster. See what happens. There's some moss in here, but in the past too, the beauty of this particular little pond is right here is that a lot of times there's quite a few waterfowl on it as well too. I've seen a variety of ducks on this thing. So better watch where I step.
Oh, you're in the water.
Yeah, I know I'm in the water. I heard it splash. You got one? Oh, that one's more substantial, I think, Theresa.
Oh, what do you know?
No, he just liked to hit it hard, didn't he?
Come on, guy. Let this go. There we go.
There you go. Very good. Okay.
Check that baby out.
Isn't he pretty?
So pretty.
Look at the color on that thing. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful.
Aw. All right, little guy.
Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornaday, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter.
Have you ever had good smoked chili? Well, I'll tell you what, I've made chili out of everything from antelope to bear, but wild pork here is the boned out shoulders in my smoking Texas Electric smoker. Now, there's something special about having a smoke flavor to chili. I don't really like chili. You know, I'll eat chili anyway, I guess, but I really, really love it with a smoke flavor. So what we've done is boned out both of the little front shoulders, what I did, and put them in my old cast iron, one of my several cast iron pots. We've got this smoke box loaded up with some wild plum wood. And what we're going to do, folks, I'm going to chop an onion up in this, and we're going to season it with, I love Wicks Fowler chili makings. That is, to me, that's the best. It has all the different ingredients mixed in, you know, with the kit. There's about 5 or 6 different ingredients that comes with a Wicks Fowler kit. So we're going to make some Wicks Fowler smoked wild hog chili, by golly. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love chili with beans. So I'll put a disclaimer out here. I've got 2 or 3 buddies that, man, this is going to flag them. They're going to say, oh, Luke's putting those beans in that chili again. But I always say this. Old Cookie back on the cattle drive days, what did he have a lot of? He had a lot of meat on the hoof. He probably had some dried beans, what do you think? And he had a lot of chilies. So anyway, we're going to put some beans in our chili. That's the way we like it. And I've never had anybody say, oh, I don't want to eat any of old Luke's chili. It's got those dang beans in it. So anyway, our smoker is just about to start. We're going to start seeing a little smoke coming up from that firebox. I'm going to shut the lid on this and let this meat smoke for about, 30 minutes. That'll give the meat a good flavor. Then we'll come back and we'll put our ingredients, our seasonings and all in there. and then we'll put it back in the smoker and let it cook for, I'm gonna let it go for 2 or 3 hours at about 225. So stay with me. When we come back, we'll take a look at our smoked chili meat. Well folks, we are back about an hour later. And let's take a look at this smoked wild pork that's going to become our chili. Now I've mixed onion in with this, and I've mixed the Wicks Fowler, the different seasonings in the packet of Wicks Fowler. So this is done, but it's not nearly as tender. It's going to become chili when we're going to put some red kidney beans in there and a couple of cans of tomatoes. And then, you know, the Wicks Fowler kit has a little masa flour, a packet of masa flour. We'll add that. Now this, you can make it really hot, the 2-alarm chili, but I've got some kiddos that's going to be eating some of this, so this is a mild chili. I didn't put all the red pepper. Of course, you can put as much red pepper as you want to. Let's go ahead and add the tomatoes and the dark red kidney beans. Stir all that in, and then basically we're just going to, you know, leave this uncovered and let it smoke. Put a little more wood in probably, and let it smoke for an hour or so more, and then bingo, we're going to have a good bowl of tasty wild hog chili. Well folks, here is our chili with everything in it. I actually put whole tomatoes, 2 cans of whole tomatoes. You can use tomatoes out of your garden that you can. You can use fresh tomatoes. It really doesn't matter. Tomato paste. I don't know, something about the whole tomatoes. There's little bits of tomato that winds up in the chili that I really like. But you can see those kidney beans in there. Again, folks, if you're not a bean eater in chili, you'll just have to try some of these the way I make them. And if you like beans and you like chili, why wouldn't you like this?
A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Air Force Air Guns, Pyramid Air, Sightmark, Snap-Block Hunting Blinds, Smokin' Tex, Striper Express, TRHP Outdoors, and Ultramatic Feeders.
To A Sportsman's Life. I'm Luke Clayton and Mr. Tony Pennebaker. We're at one of the most heralded catfish lakes in the United States, Lake Tawakoni. Now if you're from Texas or Oklahoma or this area, you know about Tawakoni, but it's an awesome catfish lake. People come from all over the country to fish here. We're in the fall. Cormorants, we call them water turkeys down here in Texas, but cormorants have been all in these trees putting their droppings down. Well, that brings in the shad, and that brings in the catfish. I mean, the catfish come in there feeding on the shad. So Tony is a premier guide down here. If you want to come and catch a bunch of fillets to eat, this is your man. If you want to go out and fish for one trophy catfish or maybe more, Tony's your man. Tony, winter time, fall and winter is kind of the prime time for blue catfish, the big ones, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Right now, when the birds migrate back from the north and they roost in these trees, that'll draw lots of fish to this area. And mostly you'll catch 2 to 10 pounders, the perfect eating size. Occasional channel cat go with it. And every once in a while, you'll get a trophy out of here.
That's right. So, you know, Tony asked Jeff and I, what did we want to fish for? Well, Tony and I have fished together a long time, and Jeff has been with us many times. He knows we like to have a fish fry. Now, this area where these cormorants have been roosting, there's tons of what we call, you call them cutters.
Cutters.
Yeah, cutter fish, eaters. Now the big blues, we release all those. If we happen to catch a big old blue, we're not going to eat him. We're going to kick him loose and let him get even bigger. We'll leave the information for Tony later. Lake Tawakoni, though, is just about an hour, a little over an hour east of Dallas in Texas, for those of you that are listening that haven't fished here. But if you want to come catch a big blue catfish, Tawakoni is your lake. Tony, real quick, how do they call you? That would be helpful.
Just best ways call me 903-474-3078. I'm
Now-
Thunder Cove Lake Tawakoni Guide Service.
That's
You can look me up on Facebook, and if you just Google catfishing, you'll probably come up with me.
You'll find this rascal.
Yeah.
Well, let's go catch some fish. What do you
we
say?
got here today is some shad. These are thread fins, maybe a gizzard there, but it doesn't really matter. What I like to do is cut them up.
Look out here. Tony's
It's our
got
first
the net.
hookup. First hookup.
What do you think, Mr. Wright?
Look at that, look at that.
Oh my God.
Got about a foot longer handle than that. For real. You go. Hang around here too. Get anchored up. Got him in there and anchored up. I still ain't got him netted.
No. Look at him right here.
There you go. Caught him on that small shaft head.
Yep. On the small shad head.
Small shaft head. You don't always have to have big bait to catch a big fish. Okay. Thank you, brother. There you go.
Get over here where we can really look at it. Jeff, kneel down by that big rascal, if you will.
That's a nice fish.
That's as big as, I've never caught one that big.
What do you like?
I don't know.
That's a pretty good one there.
Well, we need to get some pictures.
My gracious.
Let me get him untangled. You know,
Tangle. There you
we
go.
can see him a little better. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tony. Fantastic.
First fish.
As they say, it don't get much good. Gosh,
Oh my
almighty.
Lord.
That is.
Blue catfish.
I
ladies and
knew
gentlemen.
when I seen that water roll out there. You had
Fantastic.
Jeff, Lake Tawakoni, you can recommend Tawakoni to all of our folks
Folks, if
listening.
you want to catch a big blue catfish, this is the lake to do it on. I've been here before, done this before, caught these before, and it doesn't get any better. I mean, this is a lot of fun. Now, folks, we will release this fish. We don't keep these fish. This fish, Tony, how old is this fish?
They claim these fish to be this size are 25 years at least.
Yeah.
You know, around in there.
Yep.
That's right here. Bring it up.
Yeah, you bet you. Look at that big
45
rat.
pounds.
Only 45 pounds, Jeffster, so you know.
You got plenty of room to catch another.
Yeah.
But,
You ready?
My scales seem to weigh them light. I said, I'm going to get some more scales this year, but haven't done it.
I'm telling you what, that's a big old
That
catfish.
is unbelievable.
That's a good one.
That's a nice
Folks,
fish.
we're gonna let this one go. 45 pounds. Whoo,
There's a good spot.
baby. All right, here we
Great
go.
fish there now. He's all there, ain't he?
Let me get right
It's
here.
all fish.
That is all fish. Oh gosh. Okay, we're gonna let you go the easy way. All right, baby.
Fishing for
Thank you
eaters.
much.
And look what we caught.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Just to the way that he clobbered it when he took it.
He didn't want to fool around with it.
That's the way a blue does.
That's the way a blue smoke operates.
Not more aggressive.
Good looking fish right there.
Nice.
Another good 2 fillets. Yep.
All righty.
You bet. He'll look really good in Lake Crisco, right?
Like
Exactly.
Crisco. Yeah.
Well, friends, welcome back. We have just got off the water, and look at all these catfish. A bunch of blue catfish that we caught today out fishing with guide Tony Pennebaker with Thunder Cove.
Lake Tawakoni guy.
How can folks get a hold of you in case they want to come out and catch some of these fish?
Best thing to do is just give me a call at 903-474-3078. You can look me up on Facebook.
There you go.
It's Thunder Cove Lake Tawakoni Guide, or you can go to my website, it's TawakoniCatfishGuide.com.
Well, I tell you what, thank you so much for taking us out. This has been a wonderful day. We caught a really nice fish earlier, as you saw, folks. That was exciting. I mean, a 45-pound blue cat. I mean, of course, we released that one back into the water again, but these are pretty much typically what you catch.
This is the average that we normally catch when we're targeting eaters. We're using smaller hooks, smaller baits, but this morning you see that, I said, no telling what you might catch when you go down and fish those areas, and the first fish we caught was a 45-pound trophy. So those things do happen.
Yes, exactly. And folks, if you want to get some good catfish, I mean, this is the best catfish there is. The white meat that comes off of these
We want to
cats.
thank you for joining us here on this week's episode. Please join us right back here next week for another exciting adventure on A Sportsman's Life.